for joining me. This is a brief-ish sequence for the spine, shoulders and hips, everywhere that the spine kind of relates to. So we'll move through the whole body and get nice and fluid and open and wriggly, and yeah, just enjoy yourself, move with your breath, don't do anything that doesn't feel right, and yeah, hope you enjoy this. Okay, we are going to begin in a child's pose. If that isn't comfortable for you to begin like that, if you want to remain seated, you could be in Japanese style or sitting your hips up on the block. I'm just going to turn to face the top of my mat. And then you can take your knees nice and wide in your child's pose. You can have your arms reached out forward or down by the side. I'm going to place mine in a kind of interlaced fingers, prayer position, and rest the forehead down. And then just begin by bringing awareness to the back body. And allow your breath to expand a bit deeper through the back of the ribs and along the spine. And then as you exhale, allow the back of your heart to start to melt down towards the ground. We're just going to take another 2 breaths like that, inhaling along all the way into the base of your spine. And then exhaling, let the shoulders soften, let the heart relax, let the rib cage relax. Lovely, last one, inhale deep. And then this time exhale through the mouth. Lovely, and then bring that breath into a comfortable rhythm of breathing. A breath that you can sustain for your practice. And then when you're ready, just start to let the hips wiggle from side to side. And you can come up onto your hands as well. You can keep your forehead down or maybe hovering off your mat, depending on how that feels for your neck. But as you wiggle through the hips, start to allow this to kind of wave through the spine as well. So we've got this swaying action through the shoulders and that transition of weight through the palms of the hands. And let your head be a kind of momentous continuum of the movement through the spine. So it's almost like it's tracing the movement last. Good. And then when you're ready, just walk the hands all the way back and come to sit on your heels or on your block. And then we're going to continue this kind of way, but we're going to take it around in some circles. So pull the torso towards the right thigh, sweep low through the center and come up through the left side. We'll do a couple of circles this direction. And again, try not to stiffen too much through the neck, let your head get involved in the movement. And then when you're ready, change the direction. Take a couple of circles the other way around, pouring towards the left. Lovely. And then arrive into your center and just take a moment to close your eyes. And just tune into an area of your back body that is kind of calling for your attention a little louder than the rest. So for me, it's like I can feel a little bit more sensation in the tip of my left shoulder blade. And I don't need to attach any kind of story to that. I don't need to question what's happening. I'm just bringing my awareness to it so that the body can do the rest. We'll take a deep breath in through the nose here. And a cleansing breath out through the mouth. Lovely. And then come forward into your hands and your knees. And we'll take the circles this time through the hips. So any direction, we're gonna do both directions. So any direction, clockwise or anti-clockwise, but just circling through the hips. Noticing that conversation from the hips starts to move through the spine, through the ribs, through the shoulders, into the hands. And then change the direction when you're ready. Notice where the conversation is again, also in the knees and the thighs, the hip flexors. Lovely. And then find the centre and just take a pause there. I'm going to come through some very slow cat-cow. So as you inhale, lift your tailbone, lift your chin and draw the shoulders back slightly. So you feel that back bend. And then shift the weight, keep the shape through the spine, shift the weight into your hands and just start to bend your elbows and lower your heart in between your fingertips. Any amount. Now as you exhale, round, pull the tailbone in, pull the belly in, pull the chin in and push down through the hands so you're in that kind of angry cat shape. We're going to stay there for a breath into the shoulder blades. Good, and then inhale, lift your tailbone, find your cow shape again, drag the hands back towards the knees so you can send your heart forward more, keep that, shift the weight into your fingertips and then exhale, bend the elbows and lower the heart down in between the fingertips. Maybe it doesn't land and that's okay. Good, and then exhale, push, find the rounded shape, hug the tailbone, squeeze the glutes, pull the belly in. Push down through the hands as much as you can and breathe into the back of your heart. Good, and then release. We'll do that one more time with breath. Find your cow shape. Inhale into your heart space. Exhale, lower the heart down. Inhale a breath. And then exhale, round. Hug tailbone to heels. Push down through the hands. Push the back of the heart nice and high. Lovely. And then inhale, come into your cow shape. Lift your tailbone, lift your chin, pull your hands back. Keep that shape, press the hips back towards the heels. Now as you inhale, come through the angry cat shape, rounding the spine all the way forward, shoulders towards the wrists. And when you repeat that movement, coming through some spinal waves. Allowing the spine to bend all the way back and round all the way forward. And you can play around, you know, if this feels a bit awkward, play around with the distance of the hands and the feet. So maybe you need your hands further forward or closer towards you. Maybe a bit wider feels better through the hands and through the knees. But have a play around with foundations if it doesn't feel quite right. And then if you're comfortable with the movement, you can start to maybe play around with lowering the elbows towards the ground as you're moving the hips back. And then this will just get a bit more opening into the shoulders, shoulder heads, shoulder blades. Lovely. Let's do one more. Just noticing how the repetition is starting to release and unfold the body. Good, and then when you're ready, find your cow shape. So you're forward in your hands, you lift your tailbone, the hands are pulling back and the chin is lifted. And then again, we're going to shift the weight into the fingertips and lower the heart towards the ground. And then this time take a pause there. Good, and then as you push into the earth, exhale and find your rounded shape. Keep that rounded shape looking towards your navel, slowly pull the pelvis down towards your wrists. Bend your elbows and land your heart down. So we're on the belly. And then from here, sprinkle your fingertips wide. If you can be on fingertips, good. If not, flat hands is fine. If you're on your fingertips, then squeeze your thumbs towards your fingers so you activate through your arms. Press down through your feet, look at your legs strong, get your glutes engaged and rise up through your heart center. And then as you exhale, pull your heart towards your right hand so we create some circular movement through the upper torso. Keep everything from the waist down, pushing into the earth. We're going to do another circle in this direction. And then change the direction and do another 3 circles towards the left, or whichever other way you're going. Good, and I like to rise on an inhale and pour down on an exhale, but it doesn't really matter, just allow the breath to serve the movement. Good, and then when you reach the top again, take a pause there, pull your hands back and wide, push your pubic bone down and pull it forward towards the top of your mat, and take a breath into your heart space. And then exhale to release, heart forward and down. We're going to send the left palm out to the side with the wrist in line with the shoulder. We're going to bend the right knee, look over to the right, and then push and roll onto that left side. Land your right foot wherever's comfortable for you. Don't stress if it's not comfortable behind that left leg. And then if you're going there, take the right hand up and over, and then either place it behind your back, or if you have the openness through the shoulders, you can try and find the fingertips of the left hand. But don't compromise the position of the left hand just to find the bind. Take an inhale into your chest and fill the collarbones with breath. And then exhale, let something soften. Lovely, one more breath like that. And then slowly, slowly bring it back to the belly. Good, let's do the right side. Right fingertips reach out to the side, left knee bends, look to the left and then roll over to the right. You can keep this left hand here, or you can reach up and over, maybe place it behind the lower back, or if you can find your fingertips without compromising the position of your right hand, then you can find the bind. Take a breath into the collarbones. Lovely, let's have one more here. And then sweetly, slowly roll it back. Good. And then I'm going to show you a baby wave back to child's pose. So I'm going to place the hands underneath the shoulders, tuck the toes, bend your knees into the ground so that you can push into the knees and start to lift your hips. Now my heart is going to stay close to the ground, the elbows wing out wide, so I can glide the heart back nice and low, moving through the upper back opening. And then when the belly meets the thighs, the head pours down, and you just take a moment to really soften through the child's pose. Let everything drop into the earth. Take a breath here that allows you to encourage a deeper release through your body. Good, and then we're going to begin again. So coming back to sit on your heels. And we begin with a circle through the torso. So we do a couple of circles to the right, and then a couple of circles to the left. And then when you reach the center, lift up onto your knees, reach the fingertips to the sky. Exhale, land your hands down, find your cow shape. Lift your tailbone, shift the weight to your fingertips, exhale, lower your heart down. Take an inhale breath. On the exhale, push into the earth, round your spine, hug your tailbone down, pull your belly in, push your hands straight down and through the earth. And breathe into the shoulder blades. Good, we'll just do one of those. Inhale, lift into your cow shape, spread the hips wide, and we're going to come back to the spinal waves. So pressing the hips back. When you feel them land, pull the belly in, create that rounded, angry cat shape, and bring the shoulders forward over the wrists. And we'll do this another couple of times. Just trying to move, you don't have to move at my pace, you can move at your own pace, your own breath. But tuning into how the breath is serving the movement. It's almost like the movement rides the breath, dances on the breath. so that nothing really ever happens without the breath. Good, okay, and then when you're ready, round all the way forward, pause, find your cow shape again, and then exhale, pull the heart down. Lovely. And then from there, on your next exhale, push and round. Keep looking towards your navel and pull your pelvis down towards your wrists. Bend the elbows and land the belly down. Good. And then sprinkle the fingertips wide. Push down through the feet and the legs. The pubic bone is rooted as the heart rises. And then exhale, pull your heart towards your right hand. We'll take a big circle in this direction. Let's do one more. And then change towards the left. Lovely. One more circle to the left. Squeeze the fingertips towards the thumb. Help activate your arms. When you meet the center, take a pause there. Reaffirm the connection of your glutes. Squeeze them firmly. Push the pubic bone down. Pull it towards the top of your mat. At the same time, pull your hands back and wide. And then take a breath into your heart. And then exhale to release. Good. Now we're going to roll onto the back. So we'll come off the mat. We're going to reach the left hand forward. The right knee bends. You push and roll and arrive on your back. And then you can bring your right knee in towards you. Interlace your fingers around your knee. You're going to take an inhale, push your knee into your hands, and then an exhale, draw the knee past your rib cage towards your armpit. Good, inhale, and then exhale, pull, just drawing the knee in. Good, we'll do that pulse one more time. Inhale the knee into the hands. And exhale, draw it wide of your rib cage towards your armpit. And then sustain that pull. Now as much as you're pulling your knee down, push your knee into your hands so you feel the inner thigh kind of activate there. And then just take a couple of deep breaths. Make sure it's the biceps doing the pulling and up the tops of the shoulders. Press your lower back down, maybe tuck your chin in and lengthen through your spine. Take an inhale and an exhale here. Lovely. And then slowly release that right foot to the ground so the right knee is up towards the sky. Raise your left leg so your left knee meets your right knee. Inhale your arms over your head. And then exhale, lift it all the way up. So you're kind of in a seated position with your left leg straight and right knee bent. Good. And then we're just going to pulse through the core here. Take an inhale breath. And then exhale round through your spine and lower. And then push up. So we're going to pulse up and down. And you can make the exhale breath a bit quicker here. So it's more like a fire breath that goes ch, ch. I like it through the mouth just to build up a bit of heat. We're just activating the core here to strengthen and support the spine. Good. Let's do this for 5, 4, ch, 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 and pause. Release that left leg down, let the right knee fall out to the side. Take an inhale, lift up through the crown of your head, draw your shoulders back, and then exhale, pull the heart forward and down. We're going to go through some spinal waves in this Janu Shasana shape. So inhaling, rounding up, exhaling, pouring the heart down. As you inhale, round up, let the belly draw in so you support your spine. And then exhale, let the sit bones lift. So you're not kind of plugging them into the ground. We're not trying to pull on the lower back, but we're rather just allowing the body to move as a unit. Good. One more when you're ready. Lovely. And then inhale, lift all the way up. Good. So we'll take a twist from here, bring the right hand behind your back and your left hand to hold your knee. And just allow this twist to be nice and soft. So the more pulling you do, the more you'll feel it through the upper back and your shoulders. But try to do the twist from the navel. So you inhale, lengthen through the crown of your head, and then exhale, draw your navel in and just ring out through the abdominal wall. Lovely. One more breath here. And then we release. And we're going to turn towards the back of the mat and then face towards the front of the mat. Place the left hand down. Now place your left foot to the ground so that I can push into the feet and drive the pelvis up towards the sky. I'm going to do that a couple of times. Bend the knees, sink the hips to the heels. And then exhale, push the hips up towards the sky. Good. Last one. Bend the knees, sink the hips. Push from the heels, drive the pelvis. We'll take a breath here. And then from there, spinning through the hips and the toes, find a downward facing dog. Good. Give the dog some movement, kind of lubricate, oil it out. Give it some breath as well. Lovely. And then from here, we'll take it through the spinal wave. So remember, if you need to, you can land your knees and do this from an all fours position like we've done at the beginning of the sequence. If not, we'll do it from the downward dog. We're going to lift the heels on the inhale, look towards the navel and round the spine all the way forward. My tailbone is hugging towards the backs of the legs. And as your shoulders come over the wrist, bend the knees, lift the tailbone, lift the chin and the chest, and then sweetly press the hips all the way back. Take it nice and slow, again, so that you're riding that beautiful slow rhythm of your breath. Again, you don't need to be synchronized with me. We're going to do one more though. Lovely. And then we're going to wave this through into an upward facing dog. So we'll round all the way forward. Take a pause with the shoulders over the wrist. Now keep looking to the navel. And then sweetly pour the pelvis towards the wrist. As the pelvis pours down, bend the elbows, draw the hands back and wide, keep the legs strong and take a breath into your heart. And then exhale, land your knees, pull your heart in between your hands and let your elbows bend out wide. We're taking that baby wave all the way back into a child's pose. And then let everything soften in your child's pose. Take a breath that serves the body. And try to release any unnecessary tension. Okay, and then we're going to do that again on the other side. Okay, so from here we'll take the torso circles round to the left this time, just to mix it up. So we'll do a couple in the left direction, and then a couple moving to the right. And again, just noticing how the repetition is starting to release the body. How do these feel this round? Good. So when you're ready, inhale, lift up onto your knees. Exhale, land your hands into all fours. Inhale, lift your tailbone through a cow shape. Shift the weight forward. Exhale, lower the heart down. Have a breath in. On your breath out, push into the hands around your spine, angry cat shape. Good. Inhale, lift the tailbone, find the cow shape. Exhale, melt the hips back, spinal waves. Inhale, round forward. We're going to do 2 more of these spinal waves in your own time. Good, and then inhale, round all the way forward. Keep looking towards the navel. Sweetly, slowly pull the pelvis down towards the wrists. Pull the belly down. Sprinkle the fingertips wide. Push the feet, the legs, the pubic bone down. Rise the heart space. We'll do one circle in each direction. And then just finding that moment of stillness in the center. And really activating the glutes. Pushing the pubic bone down and forward, pulling the hands back. Take a breath up into your heart space. And then exhale, release your heart forward and down. And pause. And then this time, we're taking a roll over towards the right. So the right fingertips reach forward. The left hand is used to push. So we bend the left knee, we push and roll. And then I'm interlacing the fingers around the left knee. So the left knee can push into the hands on the inhale. And then exhale draws it wide of the ribcage towards the armpit. We got 2 more of those with breath. Inhale. And exhale. Lovely. Last one, inhale. And exhale. And then just sustain that pull. And as you sustain the pull, pull down with the hands, but push into the hands as well through the knee. Good. And take a breath there. Relax the tops of the shoulders, biceps pulling, lengthening through the spine. And then release that left foot to the ground. Knee to the sky, the right leg lifts so the knees meet, and then inhale the arms over the head, and the exhale hug the navel in and lift all the way up. Good, and then we'll take it through that fire breath pulses. So short, sharp pulses through the shoulders. Good, and you can fire up that exhale with a ch, ch sound through the mouth. Ch, ch. Let's do this for 5. Keep the right leg strong. 4, 2, and 1. Gently land. You can bring that right leg out wide, and the left knee out wide. And then we'll take it into the spinal waves. Inhale, lift all the way up. Exhale, pull the heart forward. Inhale, look to the navel, round it up. And then exhale, heart forward. And I'm just kissing my plant because there's not much room, but it's nice because it's got silky leaves. Okay. Let's do one more. And then we're going to bring it into the twist. So the right hand holds the bent knee and the left hand supports the base of the spine. And again, you grow tall through the crown of the head and then focus on the navel drawing in to deepen the twist through the lower abdominals. Good. And then allowing that twist to climb. Keep the spine growing nice and tall. Take one more breath. Lovely. And then return, face the back of your mat and then reach your right hand to the top of your mat. Place both feet to the ground. Mine are kind of slightly staggered. And then I'm driving from the feet, lifting through the pelvis. Good. And we're going to bend the knees, sink the hips to the heels, and do that a couple of times. Driving from the feet to lift the pelvis. Good. Don't worry about how high you're going or how deep you're going. Just get the body used to this movement as we will come through the repetition. Okay, and then I'm bending the knees, sinking the hips. I'm going to lift up and over, spin through the toes and the hips and come into downward facing dog. I'm going to take a deep breath in and a cleansing breath out. Good, let's come through 3 spinal waves. Again, land your knees down if you need support. Otherwise, inhale, lift your heels, look to the navel, round all the way forward. Take it nice and slow as you bend the knees. Lift your tailbone, let your spine bend, melt the hips back, almost like the belly's going to land on the thighs first, and then come through the downward dog. And then we'll do 2 more of those, riding the breath. Inhale to round forward. Exhale to melt it back. Inhale to round forward. And exhale to melt it back. Lovely. Inhale, round all the way forward. Again, this can be on the knees if you need to. But keep looking towards your navel. Sweetly pour the pelvis towards the wrists. If your knees are lifted, keep the legs strong, squeeze the glutes. Pull the hands back and wide and breathe your heart an inch forward. And then exhale, land your knees. Pull your heart down in between your hands. Keep the hips lifted. We're baby waving it back, elbows wing out wide to glide the heart back to find a child's pose. And then just allow yourself to simmer in that sweet surrender of your child's pose. Lovely. And we'll do 1 more round, just adding on a little bit more of a dynamic standing sequence towards the end. So when you're ready to come back to the breath. And we'll begin with those torso circles. So just taking this, a couple of circles in each direction. Kind of know where you're going now, or know-ish. Just coming through the repetition again. Lifting up onto the knees when you're ready on that inhale breath. To land the hands down on the exhale. Find the cow shape, lifting the tailbone. Pull the heart down in between the hands as you exhale. Have a breath there. On your next exhale, round your spine, angry cat. Inhale, lift your tailbone, find your cow. Keep that shape, press the hips back towards the heels, that take it through 2 spinal waves. Inhale, round forward. Exhale, melt it back. Noticing how the movement feels in the body now. 1 more. Lovely. This time we'll land on the belly. Inhale, round forward. Keep looking to the navel. Watch the navel land towards the wrists, then lift up through the chin and the chest. Pull the hands back. Bend the elbows, land the belly down. Sprinkle the hands wide. We've got 1 circle in each direction. So using that pubic bone plugging into the ground, the glutes are engaged to support the lower back. Good. Take a breath in the center. And then sweetly release the heart down. We're taking a roll over to the left, so the left fingertips reach forward. The right knee bends. We push and roll onto the back. Interlace the fingers around that right knee. On the exhale, draw the knee in towards the armpit, and we'll just sustain that pull from here. So keeping the pull nice and firm through the hands and also the push into the knee. Good, we'll take another breath in and another breath out. Lovely, and then from here, interlace your fingers behind the back of your knee and lengthen your right foot up towards the sky. Pull the toes back towards the face, spread them wide, and then extend as much as you can through that right heel. Take an inhale breath, and as you exhale, just gently hug your thigh closer towards your belly. Don't worry about how close it goes, but keep extending through the right heel, and if your leg is straight, really push the back of your knee away from you. Don't worry if it's not. Lovely. One more breath in, breathing into that intensity. And then exhale, release. Land the right foot down. Raise the left knee to meet the right knee. Inhale the arms over the head. Exhale, rock it up to seated. And we'll do 5 breaths of the fire breath and the pulse through the spine. So inhale, exhale, pulse the shoulders. 5, 4, 2, and 1. Lift, pause. If you're good, you can raise your right toes. If not, you could come to a half boat pose. If you're in full boat, strengthen through the legs, lift up through the chest. Take a moment to pause, feel that, and then sweetly land. Your left leg goes long, your right knee is coming out wide in the Janushirshasana. Inhale, lift up through your chest. Exhale, melt the heart forward, spinal waves. Inhale, gaze towards the navel, round up. Exhale, pull the heart forward. Inhale, round. Exhale, pour it down. Lovely. Now you are more than welcome to come back into the twist. I'm going to take it into a kind of modified wild thing. So I bring the right hand behind and lift up onto the knee and the shin bone of the right leg. Press the pelvis forward to lean it back, and then bring it down. And I'm going to do that a couple of times, swooping the left arm up and round. Glutes are engaged to support the lift, and then lowering it down. Good, last one. Lovely. Sweetly land the hips, place the feet to the ground. Bring the left hand to the top of the mat. We're driving the pelvis up through the wild thing. So lift up through the hips and then bend the knees, sink the hips to the heels. We're going to do 2 pulses this way. Good, and then rebend the knees. I'm going to spring this right leg towards the top of the mat. So my knees are bent. I'm pushing into the left foot and I'm springing the right foot all the way forward. Help it there if it doesn't come all the way. And then sink the back knee down. Walk your hands off your mat to the left. If you need to, you can place your left hand underneath the block. We're going to circle the right arm all the way around. So in this movement, I'm going to allow my pelvis to pulse up and down so that I get a kind of exaggerated movement through the torso, and also that beautiful opening into the inner thighs and the hips. Lovely. And then when you're ready, you're going to take a pause with your fingertips reaching back, your pelvis moving low, but your heart lifting up towards the sky. Then draw in through your navel, draw in through your lower ribs, and as you exhale, squeeze the shoulder blades together and support the heart lifting up higher. You can look in any direction with your head, just making sure it's comfortable for the neck. Good. Take another breath in here. And a sweet breath out. And then gently release. And bring your hands on the inside of your right leg. And then we're going to walk the hips all the way back to half splits. Now I'm going to come up on fingertips. You might be on a block, wherever feels good here. Keep the hips lifted off your back heel. And keep your right heel plugged down into the ground. And then we're just going to undulate through the spine. So we take an inhale, pull the belly in, look to the navel, round the upper back. And then an exhale, lengthen the heart forward and down. So the hips kind of tilt upwards. It'll be like a micro movement. I'm going to do that again. Inhale, round. Exhale, pull the heart forward and down. Keep pushing into the right heel. Inhale, lift. Exhale, push it forward and down. Lovely. Inhale, lift. Exhale, come forward into your right foot. Walk your left hand to the top left corner of your mat. Pick up your back knee and reach your right fingertips all the way up towards the sky. Come into a twist. Now continue to twist and then bend into your left knee. Place your foot down. Let your right foot slide all the way behind the left and meet a wild thing. Now before you meet the wild thing, bend the knees, turn the toes and drive the pelvis up towards the sky. And then we'll just have a breath, airing out the heart here. Lovely. And then when you're ready, spin through the hips and the toes, find the downward facing dog. Take a breath in and a breath out. And then we'll bring it into a spinal wave, rounding all the way forward on the inhale, gripping into the fingertips of the shoulders, coming past the wrists, and then exhale, bending the knees, melting the heart and the belly, and sending the hips back. Good, let's do 2 more in your own time. Riding the movement on the breath. Lovely. Inhale, round all the way forward. Come through that waving vinyasa. Keep looking to the navel. Watch the navel land towards the mat, the wrists. Pull the shoulders back. Keep the legs strong. Breathe into the heart center. Exhale, land the knees. Lift the hips, pull the heart down. Let the elbows wing out wide. We're guiding it back to the child's pose. And then just simmering once again in that beautiful aliveness that you've created. Taking a moment to recognize the feeling in the body now. It doesn't need a name. It doesn't need a judgment. It's just asking to be felt. And then we're going to do that one more time on the other side. So when you're ready to begin again, we'll loop it through those circles of your torso, a couple in each direction. And again, just tuning into how the body's feeling. Now we've done this movement a few times. We kind of know where we're going. Inhaling onto the knees. Exhaling, landing the hands. Find the cow shape, pull the heart down. Inhale, push around the spine. Exhale, find the cow shape, send the hips back. Inhale, round forward. Spinal waves, exhale, hips back. And we're just going to come onto the belly now. Inhale, round forward. Looking to the navel, to the land, to the thighs, the belly. Head lifts up last. Elbows bend to pull the heart down. Sprinkle the fingertips wide. Inhale, root down to rise. And circles in each direction. Pushing the weight through the hands. Maybe 1 circle, maybe 2 circles, however many you're feeling. I'm going to take a pause in the center, really activating the back body, even the toenails gripping down. And then when you're ready to release that, Lengthen the heart forward and down, find the space for the spine. And then we're rolling on to the right side. So right hand reaches forward, left knee bends, rolling onto the back, bending the left knee. Interlacing the fingers around the left knee, inhale a breath. Exhale, draw the knee in. Sustain that pull. Elongate your spine in opposite directions. Relax your shoulders. And take another breath here. Release the grip, raise the left foot to the sky. Pull the toes towards your face and send the energy through the heel. Interlace behind the thigh, not behind the knee, but behind your thigh. And then on your next exhale breath, just gently draw your thigh towards your belly, but keep extended through that left heel. And then just breathe into the intensity. So rather than judging the intensity and saying, oh, I'm not enjoying this, just allow the breath to have the conversation rather than the mind. And notice what changes when that happens. When you allow things to be as they are. Good, and then when you're ready, release the left foot to the ground. Raise the right legs, glue the knees together. Inhale the arms over the head. Exhale, rock it up. Good. Pulses through the shoulders. Fire breath. Inhale. Exhale for 5. Strong legs. And release. Right leg goes wide. Left knee is out wide. Come through those spinal waves in your own time. And again, for me, I can really feel how the lower back is softened and my inner thighs have opened, and I've got way more fluidity in the spine than I did at the beginning. So I'm just going to enjoy that through this movement. Not feeling like I need to hold anything, just enjoying that continuous flow. Good, and then I'm going to take this into kind of modified wild thing. This time the left hand will come behind the hips. I'm pushing up into the left shin bone, circling the right arm. And then bring the hips down. I'm not landing fully, I'm just pulsing. Lifting them up, circling the right arm, landing them, and then lifting them. I'm tickling my plants on the way. And then a moment just to breathe with the heart space open. Relaxing the head. And then slowly releasing the hips all the way down. Taking a turn towards the top of the mat, placing the feet to the ground. And we'll drive the pelvis up towards the sky on this side. Bend the knees, sink the hips. We'll take that a couple more times. Good, and then I've got that smooth step up, springing action to the top of the mat. So we bend the knees, sink the hips, push into this right foot, spring the left foot up and round, find the top of the mat and sink the back knee down. This time walking the hands off the mat to the right. And again, you can use a block underneath your right hand if you want to. But we're circling the left arm. And I've got the pulse of the pelvis to support that circling. So as I reach back, my hips are lifted. And as I reach forward and round, I'm sinking deeper. Lovely. Okay, and then when you're ready, we'll take that pause again. So the left fingertips will reach back. My right shoulder hugs back so the shoulder blades can come together. And the shoulder blades come together to lift the heart up. So does the navel lift up and the ribs lift up. So everything is supporting the heart space opening. And if you're feeling comfortable, you can allow your pelvis to drop, but don't worry about the depth of this. Be in a space that you can breathe. Where is it comfortable for your head? And then slowly release. Hands come on the inside of the left foot, and then we're moving the hips back for half splits. Left toes to the sky, left heel plugs down. That's a nice important cue for you to protect through the opening of the backs of the leg. And then we're going to take it through that undulation through the spine. So this is more like a mini wave. So we pull the belly in, look to the navel, round. And then imagine sending the heart forward beyond the toes as you pull it forward and down. Inhale to round. Mini ripple as the heart lengthens forward and down. Lovely, last one. Good, inhale, come forward into your left foot. Place your right hand to the top corner of your mat. Pick up your back knee and spin your toes to the left. Land that back foot down. Sweep the left toes behind. Land them behind that right knee. Now before you lift into the wild thing, bend the knees so that the drive of your pelvis comes from the feet. And then just taking a breath in that open heart space. When you're ready to come back, find your downward facing dog. Give it a wiggle. Give it some breath. Have a cleansing breath if you need to release that. And then we'll take it through 3 more spinal waves, a waving vinyasa, and then we're done. When you're ready, inhale, lift your heels round forward. Exhale, bend your knees, melt the heart back. 2 more in your own time. You can make this super juicy and land your elbows down if you want to get into your shoulders a bit more. I'm demoing that on this next one. So the same thing, lift the hips, bend the elbows, push the heart back. Good, when you're ready, round it all the way forward. Pelvis to wrists. Legs strong. Breath deep. Land the knees. Pull the heart forward. Elbows wing out wide. Glide it back. Find your child's pose. And this one, for this child's pose, imagine that you were going to stay here all day, all evening. Imagine that you were just going to commit to this child's pose for a really long time. So you get super comfortable, remove any fidgets, take any cleansing breaths that you need, and then just allow your body to rest here. Allow yourself to receive the moment as it is, without story. Allow yourself to receive your body as it is, without story. And then when you're ready, you can release. You might like to add on a back bend to this practice. You might like to do a hip opener or a twist. You can tag on whatever you feel your body needs to finish your practice. I'm going to lie down on the back and just tug the knees in towards the chest. And have a roll around on the lower back. And then I'm just going to come into Shavasana because I'm feeling pretty good. And somebody here wants a little cuddle. In the baba. Good. So I'm going to lengthen out into Shavasana. I'm going to let this video play out so you can finish this practice in your own way and in your own time. Thank you for joining me.